What's up, Edu Rockstars? Happy Monday night, and welcome to another episode of Get Your Teach On Live. This season on Get Your Teach On Live, we're giving you an inside look into the Get Your Teach On content sessions that you'll experience if you attend Get Your Teach On in the 2019-2020 school year. So, on tonight's episode, Amy Lemons is going to be here, so I want to get as many Edu Rockstars in here as possible. So, you know the drill. Take out your phone and get ready to start filming an Instagram story and get ready to post it. I'm going to count you down from 3. And then you're going to film it and post it on your story. Tag Amy, tag Get Your Teach On, tag our sponsor, Really Good Stuff. The more chances you share, the more chances you have to win our ultimate grand prize at the end of the season. So get ready to start filming in 3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? It's Chris Pombano back on the Get Your Teach On Facebook page for another episode of Get Your Teach On Live. On tonight's episode, Amy Lemons is back giving you an inside look into her math session. See you on Facebook. Go ahead and post that on your Instagram story. Tag Amy, tag Get Your Teach On for your chance to win that ultimate prize at the end of the season. Now, like I said earlier, this season we're giving you an inside look into our sessions that launch at our national conference and will continue at New England in just a week, Los Angeles in January, and Houston in February, because that's how our content sessions work. So they're going to last all the way through those conferences. And they're going to see them again in just 1 week at Get Your Teach On New England. The Get Your Teach On team is so excited to head to the Northeast for the first time ever. In just a week from tonight, we're going to be in New England with the Get Your Teach On team for Get Your Teach On New England from the beautiful Mohegan Sun Resort, and we could not be more excited. Now, if you want to be there, it is not too late. Due to some funding issues and tickets opening up, we still have limited seats available in all grade levels K through 6. So if you want to be there, there's still time. Go ahead and visit getyourteachon.com to grab your ticket now while you can. Now, if you're going to be there joining us, there's some logistics information that we want to share with you. First of all, registration is going to start on Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Mohegan Sun Resort. So all the information is right there. That's going to be happening on Sunday at the Mohegan Sun. So Sunday from 4 to 6, stop by, register, get your all access pass, and see some of the team. Hope and Wave will also be signing books at that time. And if you're not attending on Sunday and not getting there till Monday morning, that's okay. Registration will also be available Monday morning. All that information and more, including what to bring, will be in your inbox, in your email this week. So stay tuned for that. It'll give you all the information on what you need to bring and all the details of times and things like that. Also, make sure you download the official conference guide from our website so you have your lineup of sessions and everything is on there. That's available at getyourteachon.com. Also in your inbox from a few weeks ago is a sign up for our optional lunch session with Nicholas Ferroni on social studies simulations. There's still limited seats available for that. So if you're attending New England, check your email to register for this optional session with our friend Nicholas. It's definitely something you are not going to want to miss. So check your email this week. Visit getyourteachon.com to download the conference guide. And if you want to be there, there is still limited tickets available. So tag your friends in the comments and let them know that you want to see them there. While you're at it, go ahead and share this video right now to let everyone know to head on over to the Get Your Teach On Facebook page, because Amy Lemons is about to share an inside look into her math session. So in the comments right there, you'll see a share button. Go ahead and hit share it out, tag Get Your Teach On, tag Amy for an extra entry to win that ultimate grand prize at the end of the season. Now, without further ado, please welcome back to Get Your Teach On Live, my good friend Amy Lemons. How you doing, Amy?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I know it's been a crazy day. We appreciate you being on here. We were just on Instagram and we were talking about heading to New England. I said, Amy, what are you most excited for? And she said,
the leaves.
The leaves changing color. The Get Your Teach On team has never been to the Northeast for a conference. We've been to the Northeast, like as people, but not for a conference. Right. So we're so excited. Right. And if you're in the Northeast area and thinking, oh my gosh, maybe I should attend, I'm on fall break or I have off for Columbus Day, maybe I really want to go, we probably will not be back to the Northeast for a while because it's really hard to get Northeast dates with the weather and snow and all the things. So it's an area that it's hard to get to. So if you want to be there, grab your ticket this week. It's not too late. So Amy, you do a lot of sessions at Get Your Teach On that we talked about on Instagram Live, but talk about the session that you're going to be sharing tonight, and then we're going to get into it.
Okay, so the math session that I'm doing across 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade levels this year at Get Your Teach On is all about hands-on interactive games for math and how you can use them with different concepts and skills, and maybe even into other subject areas as well. So it's really taking different math games and different strategies and learning how to apply them to a lot of different standards.
Now, Amy, Hope and you have worked on math curriculum for a long time now and really amping it up and making it engaging. What's so important when you think about a math block? What would you say is the most important thing to get students excited about it?
Yeah, I think so. Whenever I first started teaching second grade, and I was just kind of blown away at how much growth they were expected to have between first and second grade and how difficult the concepts were. And then when I started working with third grade students, and I was like, oh my goodness, second grade was nothing. And then I started working with fourth grade students, and I was like, wow, students are expected to do a lot in math. And some of those standards are very, very difficult. So I think just taking even some mini lesson and just doing something different to get them excited. I don't think that worksheets are a bad thing, and I think there's a time and a place for them. But if they are doing worksheets or the workbook every single day, their love for math is just going to dwindle. And we talk a lot about finding students' love for reading and really investing in books and finding their interests. But I think the same thing applies to math. You're going to be using math skills for the rest of your life, whether you like it or not. And so just finding ways to amp up that math block with your mini lesson or a game or an activity. It doesn't have to be something huge every time, but there's so many fun, hands-on, interactive things that you can do that gets your students just amped up for math every single day.
And I love that you said it's more than a worksheet, and that goes along with your session. But I think a lot of times with math, it's easy because curriculum comes to our school and it's just workbook page after workbook page, and this is what you follow, this is what you do. But you found a way to integrate it with every content area where you can still do those things required by your district, but make it more exciting and kind of amp it up with these hands-on activities. So I'm so excited to hear what you have to share. So I'm going to turn things over to Amy to give you an inside look into her Math is More Than a Worksheet session that you can see at an upcoming Get Your Teach On conference. Take it away.
All right. So there we are. Math is more than worksheets. So my session is all about just taking these games, and these activities are very simple. They don't require a lot of materials, a lot of prep work. It's just, and I know this says second grade, but it really applies to all grade levels. It's really just finding different things for your students to do to get them excited about math. So I love this next quote. It says, playing math games. Students not only learn more when playing a game, but their participation in class and their motivation for learning math increases. And isn't that what we all want? We want them to learn, and they've got to nail those standards. And I mean, they oftentimes are assessed on the standards. So the standards are so important. You will never hear me say not to teach to the standards, to just have fun and have a party. That is not what Get Your Teach On is all about. It's all about hitting those standards, but in an interactive way, so that whenever they're participating, they're buying into it, and then they're more motivated, and then they want to learn more in math, and they are excited about math the next day. When Hope and I started creating Magic and Math curriculum, that's what it's all about. We have a lot of really rigorous activities just all throughout it, but it's the way you present it so that students are motivated in those math activities, and they're not dreading doing a math worksheet day in and day out. So I want to show you the game that I'm going to share with you. It's called I'm getting really excited. It's called Toss and Solve. All you need for this, and this is something you can easily create on your own too, you just need a game board, and really they can write numbers on papers. You don't even have to have all the circles. And then you need some palms. This is what I always say. Palms should be a teacher's best friend. One, they are silent. When students toss them, they do not go super far, and they do not make any noise. I wish that every single math manipulative could be made in this material because they're wonderful. Also, they are so cheap. You can get bags of these for bucks. They're so cheap. And whenever we're tossing, right? Well, we don't want students to chunk things in each other's faces, or if they do, we don't want it to hurt. So that's where palms are going to be your very best friend. So this math game is very easily adaptable. It can be done with any grade level, any concept. So I want to show you how you can do it with a couple of different, I have them here, but I think it's on the next slide as well. Okay, so let's just get some ideas out there. Maybe you want to do it with plus and minus 10 or 100, with addition or subtraction, with regrouping, or with making numbers. So let's say you can see on that first picture, we have like 5 cents, 10 cents, 25 cents, 1 cent. Well, that's where students are adding a collection of coins. So you would decide how many coins you want them to add. Or you could, and that this is great because it can be differentiated so easily. So maybe you just want the one group to add 3 coins. Maybe one group's ready for 5 coins. So they toss the palms to land on a coin amount. Then they would add up the total value. So maybe they landed on a 25, 25, 10, 10, and 5, and they would have 75 cents. Then you can see on the one right beside that, there's just 2-digit numbers. So many things you could do with this. You could do toss 2 palms. Partner 1 tosses 1, partner 2 tosses 1, and they add their 2 numbers together. Super simple. You could also do plus or minus 100 or 10. Throw a palm on a number. Well, you couldn't do plus 100 with 2-digit, but you get what I'm saying. So you could do something very easily with those. So just having a couple numbers, if groups were ready to add multiple numbers, 3 or 4 numbers, enhance it, up your rigor, and just with a couple more palms. So those are just a couple of ideas for about, I'd say 2nd, maybe 3rd grade. You could easily just change that to 3-digit numbers, 4-digit numbers. What I also love about this is that students can write in their own numbers, their own coin amount. So they're taking ownership of that game. So then let's look at the steps of the game. Okay, so step 1, you get with a partner and you choose this is what we would do at Get Your Teach On. You would choose your math concept. And this is what I loved about the national conference is these teachers were coming up with incredible ideas. 4th grade teachers were adding decimals. So they were putting different, I have that option here, like having different decimal amounts where they were adding up decimals. You could do multiplication. You could do subtraction. So they decided, and you can too, decide your math concept. We don't all have to do the same thing. We got so many ideas from that. Then you fill up one toss and solve board with whatever concept you're doing. So if you were doing coins, you would just do coin values inside of all of the little circles. And then step 2 is, okay, you toss your palms onto the board. And this is what's great too. You can decide how many palms need to be tossed according to your skill that you're practicing. And this is what I always tell people. And this is what I tell students too. I've been doing games like this for a very long time. If it doesn't land right on the board, you just scooch it in. And that's what I tell them all the time at Get Your Teach On. You make up the rules. Like if you want all the rules, you make up the rules. This is what's so great about games like this is you really get to determine what your students are doing and the different levels at which they're practicing. So they you decide how many palms you want them tossing. And then the next step is that's where you solve the problem based on where you land. So, and that's where I said you can scoot a palm onto if you needed. So here you can see how they landed on 5 different coin values. And then they just use the dry erase pockets that ETA Hand to Mind so generously donated to us. And they added up their coin totals. Or if they were adding up decimals, they did the same thing. If they were multiplying 2-digit by 2-digit, 2-digit by 1-digit, whatever you want them to do, there's so many different things that you can do with this game. So that's step 3, and it's as easy as that. I mean, it's as easy as filling in a board. You can have these pre-filled in for them. You can have the students do it. And this is what I love about games like this is because maybe once my students have seen it, and I might even want to start out with something simple like addition facts or multiplication facts. Once they understand the concept of the game, then they can use it during other times of the year. This doesn't have to be a one and done kind of game, right? It doesn't have to be, oh, we did it for addition, we can't do it for multiplication. No, once you've introduced a game, pull it back out again, but just with the new skill, or even have your students, let your students come up with a new way to play it or to do it with new numbers. So I love that. Here's some more ways to play toss and solve. Here you can see where they estimated sum. So they landed on 2 numbers. They rounded to find their sum. And then you can also see how for 4th grade, they landed on 2 decimals and they added up those numbers. So you can do it with so many different skills and concepts and hit all of those standards. And then once you've introduced it, your students can hit the ground running and they can play it next time. It may even be something that you want to do as an early finisher activity or in a math station, or put it in a place where they can create their own math games. There are so many different things you can do with simple games like this that make a huge impact, don't take up a lot of time, but it gets the kids up. It allows them to take ownership of their activity because they're tossing to find their numbers. They're not just given to them. And so it really just creates an atmosphere of math is fun. We're still working, right? Like these are problems that you could see on a worksheet or in a book. It's just tackling those in a way that makes it more engaging, which motivates your student and it increases their interest in your math block. So now I want to tell you some tips for math games, because in my math session, I share a lot more math games than just that. So one thing, do not just use games for a time filler, which that being said, use them for a specific purpose. So if I'm pulling out this game, right, I'm pulling it out because I want, the first time especially, I have a skill and a standard that I need them to hit, that I need them to practice so that they master that skill. That's my specific purpose. Then I can move it into something as an early finisher, but it's not like, oh, I don't have anything else to do, let's just pull out a game. You know, we're not just playing Go Fish or something like that. We have a specific purpose for that math game. Another tip that's going to come up next is the math game should match your mathematical objective or an objective that you want to spiral. So if I'm doing decimals in class, of course I can use this, and then I can spiral it maybe in math stations or as a review. But I want those games that we're playing in our math block to either hit what we learned about during our mini lesson or during our activity or small group. I want to either hit those skills so they have more practice with them, or I want to spiral back to something that was previously taught that I don't want them to forget. So either one of those two things. It shouldn't just be, oh, we're just always doing addition all year long. There needs to be a mathematical, I mean, that is an objective, of course, but there are so many other skills we can pull in to either hit for that standard focus or that we can spiral. And then the last tip for math games is once students, this is what I talked about. Once students are familiar with the game, invite them to create their own variations. You will be blown away with what your students can come up with, just like I was blown away at Get Your Teach On with the things that they were coming up with, because I was like, I mean, I created the game and never even considered that. Just think about the power of collaboration and what you learn from sharing with your teammates and people in your same field of your same focus. So students can do the same thing. I love this too for students that are at a higher level, or maybe they're always finishing work so quickly and doing it right. This is something that they could, games like this, that they can easily take ownership of, and you can give them a task or something to create so that they're not just sitting and always doing the same thing whenever they're finished with their work, that they have a purpose and something, a goal to work towards, and then they can share that with the other students in the class. So that's just one of the many activities that I share at Get Your Teach On. It's one of my favorite because it gets the kids up and moving. There's not a lot of rules. There's not a lot of explanation, but it's highly engaging, and students always love tossing that palm. So I hope you enjoyed it.
Awesome. Thank you, Amy. I love how you said that you could use this throughout the year as a spiral. So if you introduce it with one concept and then you know those students are still struggling throughout the year, they can know exactly and take ownership of their learning and say, okay, I really know I need help with, let's say, adding decimals, and they'll go choose that game board during a center or a station to kind of spiral throughout. So really making these games interactive in your whole group and your mini lesson, but then allowing them to practice on their own and kind of letting them take charge. I love how you tied the content with the rigor for that. And that, like Amy said, that's just one of the many, many, many ideas we were talking about on Instagram, and all the teachers who had been in Amy's sessions before in the comments were saying, Amy Lemons gives us all the things and all the ideas in all her sessions. So thank you, Amy, so much for sharing that. Go ahead and let us know in the comments if you've been to Amy's session before and what teachers have to look forward to in any of the sessions you've been to on there. So Amy, I'll see you in just a week at Get Your Teach On New England. And Amy will also be on the live next week in New England with some other members of the Get Your Teach On team with a huge announcement that we're going to be making. So you know this one. You just always forget it and make that face.
I know.
It's the same one you know, but I like the reaction. It adds up the energy.
I'm really excited every time.
It's the same one, but we do have a huge announcement. So good that Amy gets that excited every single time that we're going to be making next week on Get Your Teach On Live with some members of the Get Your Teach On team live from Get Your Teach On New England. So you're going to want to make sure you set your alarm for that. All right, Amy, I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye. Thank y'all.
Bye. Now, just 2 weeks ago, not even 2 weeks ago, Todd Neslony and Adam DeVico launched our first ever standalone Get Your Lead On conference for administrators, district leaders, and instructional coaches, and teachers were blown away. Our friends at ESGI have hooked you up with a giveaway to send you to the next standalone Get Your Lead On conference. So they're running a contest right now, and it's still open for a little bit of time before the conference. So you can enter to win a registration to Get Your Lead On Charlotte. They're going to pay for your registration, your flight, and your hotel. So this is an all expenses paid trip to Get Your Lead On Charlotte, happening at the end of the month. If you want to attend Get Your Lead On Charlotte, go ahead and enter this giveaway or grab your ticket right now at getyourteachon.com. Get Your Teach On Charlotte is happening October 28th, open for district leaders, principals, assistant principals, coaches, anyone really wanting to take the Get Your Teach On impact and spread it school-wide. Let's take a look at what happened at Get Your Teach On in Texas just a few weeks ago. Check it out.
Get Your Lead On is a high-energy, interactive conference for school, district, and aspiring leaders who want to learn how to bring new ideas, innovative strategies, and great pedagogy back to their building.
When administrators attend Get Your Lead On, they can expect high energy, immediate takeaways, and an absolute blast. I mean, how many times as administrators have we gone to dull and boring trainings? We plan to bring the heat, but give you things you can take back right away.
So things you can take away right away from Get Your Lead On are better ways to have instructional leadership, like how to use your data, how to lead change, and how to bring a positive attitude and a positive atmosphere to any campus you're on.
You can find more information on getyourteachon.com or search the hashtag GetYourLeadOn.
If you're a campus or district leader, go ahead and visit getyourteachon.com to sign up for the upcoming Get Your Lead On conference in Charlotte. It's a one-day experience for administrators and leaders within districts. And don't forget to enter that contest at getyourteachon.com to win an all-expenses paid trip with free registration to our upcoming Get Your Lead On conference. Also coming up in the next year, we made some big announcements on Get Your Teach On Live in the past few weeks on episodes. Get Your Teach On is taking things next level and letting you dive deeper into your content. So for our 2nd through 6th grade teachers, Get Your Lead On Next Level was announced. It's heading to Atlanta in 2020, and registration is now open. This is an opportunity for you to really dive deeper, whether you've been to Get Your Teach On before, or you just want to really dive deeper into your standards to take a more focused look and dive deeper into your math and science standards or your ELA standards. For more information on Get Your Teach On Next Level, heading to Atlanta in 2020, you can visit getyourteachon.com. And as previously announced, our K-1 teachers, Deanna Jump and her crew, have Get Your Teach On University coming to one of my favorite cities, Nashville, this April. Registration is now open for that, and seats are filling fast for both of those opportunities. Get Your Teach On University and Get Your Teach On Next Level are giving you more detailed look into those content standards for your instruction. For more information and to sign up, because tickets are filling fast, you can go to getyourteachon.com. Now, this season of Get Your Teach On Live is, as always, is sponsored by our friends at Really Good Stuff, and they're going to be heading to Get Your Teach On New England. We're going to be in their neck of the woods next week. Let's check out this special message from our friends at Really Good Stuff. Our friends at Really Good Stuff can't wait to see you at Get Your Teach on New England, the Mohegan Sun. And remember, tickets are still available. There's limited seats available for all grade levels K through 6. So if you want to see the Get Your Teach On team and our friends at Really Good Stuff, make sure you visit getyourteachon.com to grab your ticket, because those are going to be filling fast this week. Now, remember, registration will be held for New England Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. or if you can't attend then, Monday morning. But to avoid long lines, we highly suggest coming Sunday. And remember to check your email this week if you're an attendee coming to Get Your Teach On New England. Next Monday night at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be joined by members of the Get Your Teach On team for our Get Your Teach On Live special edition from the Mohegan Sun at Get Your Teach On New England. We have some big announcements to let you know about our national conference, and you will not want to miss it. So set your alarms now, and we'll see you next Monday night for Get Your Teach On Live at 8 o'clock for our special edition from Get Your Teach On New England. If you're heading to New England, we'll see you in just a few days, and have a great week.